You walk into your workplace every day under an illusion. You imagine civility rules the hallways. You think loyalty, fairness, or talent will lift you. You believe if you keep your head down, perform well, and wait patiently, you will be rewarded. That fantasy is the noose tightening around your neck. You are not in a sanctuary of merit. You are in a battlefield where smiling faces conceal blades. The office is not a community. It is a campaign. It is war waged without banners, fought with gossip, alliances, and silence more lethal than arrows. And you, sitting there thinking effort and kindness will protect you, are already defeated before the first strike lands. You cling to morality as if it will shield you, but morality has no teeth in these corridors. Principles are irrelevant when power decides outcomes. You imagine your manager cares about justice, that your colleagues value fairness, that teamwork is sacred. Fool. They value survival. They value advancement. They value what secures their position at your expense. Do you not see it? The promotions given to the incompetent ally, the opportunities withheld from the diligent loner, the rewards distributed not for effort, but for perception, not for truth, but for image. This is not an accident. This is strategy. And you are blind. You have been trained since childhood to obey, to please, to submit. School taught you that good behavior earns approval. Religion taught you that humility will be exalted. Society taught you to avoid conflict, to play nice, to believe harmony is noble. But I tell you this, those lessons were chains forged to keep you docile. They were not truths. They were controls. The strong knew it. The cunning knew it. They used these illusions to keep you manageable while they built empires over your compliance. Even now, at your workplace, those who smile and nod in meetings are maneuvering behind your back. They speak one language to your face and another when your back is turned. They master optics while you obsess over output. They understand the battlefield while you still think you are in a temple. You are weak because you have been conditioned to be weak. You believe people see your worth. They do not. They see only what you project and what they can use. You believe loyalty will be reciprocated. It will not. Loyalty in politics, in business, in war. Loyalty is a rope to be cut the moment it no longer serves. I once warned that rulers fall when they believe affection is more reliable than fear. The same is true here. Your colleagues may like you, but if destroying you opens their path, they will slit your throat with a smile. To expect otherwise is self-sabotage. Understand the reality. Power is not held by the most capable, but by the most strategic. Influence is not gained by truth, but by control of perception. Reality is not shaped by fairness, but by force, whether that force is silence, alliances, or positioning. You have been blind because you thought you were playing a game of skill when you were trapped in a game of war. And every day you stay naive. You bleed. Every day you keep your head down. You are flanked. Every day you wait for fairness. You are surrounded. The enemy is already advancing while you are still arranging your desk. The cost of remaining passive is brutal. You will be overlooked, silenced, dismissed. Others will seize the promotions you earned. Others will shape the narrative about you while you say nothing. Others will place themselves at the table while you remain outside the room. Your ideas will be stolen. Your contributions erased. Your value minimized until you are disposable. This is not theoretical. This is inevitable. Attrition claims the unarmed first. The naive are the first to fall. You will wither not because you were incapable, but because you chose not to arm yourself. Now hear this with clarity. The time of illusions is over. You must abandon hope of fairness. Abandon the fantasy of meritocracy. Abandon the dream of loyalty. Replace them with reconnaissance, with discipline, with strategy. Every day you enter that office is a march onto the battlefield. Your smile is your armor. Your silence is your shield. Your words are your weapons. You must think as a commander, not as a servant. You must plan like a general who knows supply lines, allies, and weak flanks determine survival. First, reconnaissance. You must study every player. Who holds influence? Who is desperate for approval? Who fears exposure? Who owes favors? Who has no loyalty? Learn their patterns. Map their weaknesses. Know who meets with whom. Who leaks information. Who flatters. Who bullies. Intelligence is power. Most fools walk blind. You will walk with eyes open. You will see their alliances forming before they strike. You will anticipate their movements before they know their own. Information is the lifeblood of power, and you must seize it ruthlessly. Second, discipline. Never reveal your full intentions. Never expose your entire hand. Those who speak too much bleed information that others will weaponize. Speak less than you know. Smile more than you feel. Give fragments of yourself. Never the whole. Let them underestimate you. Let them think you harmless. Let them believe you obedient. A commander does not announce his attack. He conceals until the ambush is inevitable. Your words must be precise, calculated, strategic. Every phrase a maneuver. Every silence a weapon. Third, alliances. Do not waste time seeking friends. Seek useful partners. The battlefield is not for affection, but for leverage. Form alliances with those who can shield you, those who can amplify your presence, those who can carry your banner into rooms you cannot yet enter. Protect them only as long as they serve your advance. Break them the moment they endanger your position. Affection is weakness. Utility is survival. Remember, loyalty ends when interests diverge. You must end it first. Fourth, positioning. Do not work merely to complete tasks. Work to control perception. Visibility matters more than effort. Do not bury yourself in labor that goes unnoticed. Place yourself where eyes are watching. Take credit when it is yours, and even when it is shared. Ensure your name is linked. Your reputation is your supply line. If it weakens, you starve. If it strengthens, you advance. Every presentation, every report, every project is an operation of perception. Conduct it like a general staging, a show of strength. Even if the work behind the curtain is chaotic, the performance must appear flawless. Fifth, strike with precision. Do not attack openly unless you are certain of victory. Do not engage in battles that drain your resources. Do not challenge directly when you can flank silently. Sabotage is often more effective than confrontation. Let rivals exhaust themselves. Let them overextend. Then, with one calculated move, you cut their supply lines, undermine their credibility, and leave them stranded. Victory is not gained by shouting louder, but by removing the ground beneath their feet. The battlefield of the workplace is psychological operations. You must master perception, silence, timing. You must appear loyal while advancing your agenda. You must appear harmless while dismantling enemies. You must appear dedicated while maneuvering for power. The fools around you cling to sincerity. You must wield deception. They cling to fairness. You must wield force. They cling to loyalty. You must wield betrayal. If this horrifies you, then understand you are unfit for the war you are already trapped in. Do you want to know why rulers fell in my time? They confused love with power. They mistook affection for loyalty. They trusted faces instead of studying motives. They relied on chance instead of creating fear. And so, they collapsed under illusions. You will collapse too if you cling to the same delusions. But if you learn what I teach, You will rise where they fall. You will hold power, not because you are moral, not because you are kind, but because you are strategic, and strategy alone wins wars. You are at a crossroads. Continue as you are docile, obedient, blind, and you will remain a pawn, discarded when convenient, or adopt what I command: coldness, precision, deception, and you will outmaneuver every rival, outlast every foe, outsmart every pretender at your work. This is not comfort. This is command. Choose now. Remain a victim or become a commander. There is no middle ground. On this battlefield, neutrality is surrender. On this battlefield, survival is power. On this battlefield, only the ruthless ascend. You still hesitate. I can sense it. You want to believe there is some hidden virtue in patience, that eventually others will recognize your worth. That hesitation is poison. Every moment you delay in facing reality is another moment your rivals advance. They are already positioning themselves, already speaking the right words into the right ears, already planting seeds that will bloom into your exclusion. You still think work is a temple, but the temple is burning while you pray. It is not merit that determines survival. It is maneuver. It is deception. It is power disguised as humility until the knife is ready. Your blindness has cost you already. Think of the opportunities that passed you. Think of the meetings you were not invited to. Think of the credit you watched slip into another's hands. Each of those was not an accident. Each was a maneuver, an operation carried out by someone who understood the battlefield while you lingered in illusions. You were not excluded because you were incapable. You were excluded because you were unarmed. They did not fear you, and so they ignored you, and you accepted it. That acceptance is your true enemy. You tell yourself you want peace. You tell yourself you are above politics. You tell yourself you are focused on the work. That is weakness disguised as virtue. No one cares about your purity. They care about whether you are an obstacle to their advancement or a stepping stone under their feet. If you are neutral, you are a stepping stone. If you are passive, you are disposable. And when the next cut must be made, when the next restructuring comes, when the next scapegoat is required, your head will be offered because you posed no threat. Wake now to the mechanics of power. Everything around you is strategy. The way your colleague compliments the manager in meetings is not politeness, it is psychological positioning. The way another lingers late at the office is not dedication, it is theater for perception. The way someone shares gossip is not idle chatter, it is reconnaissance disguised as camaraderie. Every action is tactical. Every gesture is an operation. And you, believing sincerity is enough, have been the target of their maneuvers. You are not neutral, you are prey. Do you wonder why you have been bypassed? It is because you never staged your presence as power. You worked while they whispered. You built while they maneuvered. You carried weight while they carried narratives. Power belongs not to those who labor most, but to those who command perception best. Your ignorance of this has left you vulnerable, but ignorance can be shattered. The moment you see the battlefield, you can prepare your counter-offensive. Understand this truth. Fear is stronger than love in these halls. Affection fades when interests clash. But fear of your intelligence, fear of your influence, fear of your capacity to wound keeps people cautious. You must cultivate that fear, not by loud aggression, but by silent demonstration. Let them wonder what you know. Let them sense you see through their masks. Let them feel your silence as a shadow looming over their schemes. Machiavellian strategy dictates, better to be feared quietly than loved loudly. The first transformation is mental. Stop expecting fairness. Stop expecting recognition. Stop expecting reciprocity. Replace these delusions with command, control, Calculation. Every interaction is now an operation. Every conversation is reconnaissance. Every meeting is a battlefield of perception. Stop being the servant of morality. Become the commander of strategy. The second transformation is behavioral. Your words must be measured, sharp, and rare. Speak only when it strengthens your position. Give nothing away freely. Do not explain. Do not justify. Justification is weakness. Silence is strength. When you do speak, deliver impact, not chatter. Let your words fall like strikes, not like rain. Make them carry weight. The third transformation is structural. Build a network, not of friends, but of assets. Identify the ambitious, who will need your support later. Identify the insecure, who will spread your whispers without realizing they serve you. Identify the powerful, who can shield you with their name. Align with them strategically. Never confuse alliance with affection. Use them as they use you. In war, supply lines matter. Your alliances are your supply lines. Without them, you are starved and isolated. With them, you are shielded and supplied. The fourth transformation is tactical. Observe your rivals until you know their weaknesses more intimately than they know themselves. Some are slaves to vanity. Feed it until they reveal their foolishness. Some are addicted to approval. Deny it until they crumble. Some are reckless with speech. Listen until their own tongue betrays them. Then, strike with precision. Expose them at the right moment. Reveal what undermines them most. A direct confrontation is rarely necessary. The battlefield favors those who win by silence and timing, not by reckless charges. You must also master deception. Appear compliant while advancing your own design. Appear loyal while plotting your own ascent. Appear harmless while laying the trap. To announce your power is to invite resistance. To disguise it is to advance unchallenged. A general does not wave banners announcing his flank. He conceals until the encirclement is complete. Likewise, you must cloak your maneuvers in normalcy. Let them think you are merely diligent, merely humble, merely harmless. Then, when the decisive moment arrives, they will discover the ambush too late. Do not confuse deception with dishonor. It is survival. It is warfare by intelligence. The lion roars and reveals himself, but the fox survives by cunning bait. You must be both, the lion when striking, the fox when maneuvering. A commander who refuses deception is a commander who feeds his men to slaughter. You will not be that commander. And understand this: hesitation kills. Every war punishes delay. The rival you hesitate to counter today will be the superior you answer to tomorrow. The gossip you allow to spread unchecked today will be the reputation that buries you tomorrow. The silence you offer when they steal your credit today will be the precedent that erases you forever. Every hesitation feeds your enemy. Every delay strengthens their camp. Every surrender of initiative is a cut in your own flesh. Your life at work is not separate from war. It is war. The weapons are words, alliances, perception. The casualties are reputations, promotions, opportunities. The victories are positions of control, influence, and authority. To deny this is to walk unarmed into the battlefield. To accept it is to rise as commander. You are standing at the edge of transformation. The question is whether you will act. Will you remain the pawn, waiting for fairness, clinging to morality, hoping to be noticed? Or will you seize command, outmaneuver, outwit, and outlast every rival who thought you harmless? The choice is not between good and evil. The choice is between power and oblivion. And if you still hesitate, know this: your rivals do not. While you deliberate, they advance. While you weigh morality, they seize territory. While you wait for justice, they prepare your downfall. There is no mercy in this campaign. There is only command or surrender. You will either adopt the ruthless strategies of Machiavelli, or you will be consumed by those who already do. Choose now. You think you can survive by being invisible. You think if you lower your head, avoid conflict, and let others take the spotlight, you will be safe. That is the illusion of the weak. Invisibility is not safety. It is slow execution. The invisible man is the first forgotten, the first erased, the first sacrificed when sacrifices are demanded. To remain unseen is to surrender your existence to those who command attention. Understand this. Survival demands visibility, and visibility demands control of perception. At work, you are surrounded not by allies but by competitors disguised as allies. They shake your hand, but their true calculation is how to use you, how to block you, how to advance at your expense. You still cling to the idea that teamwork protects you, but teamwork is simply the camouflage of self-interest. When it serves them, they will unite. When it serves them more, they will betray. This is the law of power. It is not evil. It is reality. You either understand it and maneuver accordingly, or you remain its victim. You are conditioned to believe exposure is dangerous. It is not exposure that destroys it, it is exposure without preparation. To be visible without armor is suicide. To be visible without strategy is self-sabotage. But to be visible with precision, to control how others perceive you, is to seize command of the narrative. Others fight to define you. They whisper, they speculate, they shape stories about who you are. If you do not define yourself, they will define you, and they will define you in ways that diminish you. Command requires you to seize the narrative, to project not the truth, but the perception that serves you. Do not imagine truth matters here. Truth is irrelevant without control of how it is perceived. Your work may be excellent, but if another presents it better, they own the perception. Your loyalty may be genuine, but if another frames you as disloyal, perception wins over fact. Your intentions may be pure, but if another shapes you as a threat, you will be treated as one. Perception governs reality. If you do not control it, you will be consumed by it. I once observed rulers who lost power, not because they lacked strength, but because they lacked perception management. They believed strength alone guaranteed survival. They forgot that appearance of strength is often more decisive than strength itself. The same is true for you. It is not enough to work hard. It is not enough to produce results. You must appear indispensable. You must appear commanding. You must appear untouchable. Appearance is armor, and without it, you are naked. You must learn the art of concealment and revelation. Reveal enough of yourself to appear open, but never enough to be truly known. Conceal enough of yourself to protect your maneuvering, but never so much that you vanish. This is balance, the discipline of psychological operations. Your colleagues must see a version of you they can predict, while the real you maneuvers in the shadows. Let them think they know you. Let them think they understand your motives. All the while, you prepare your strike from angles they cannot see. The enemy of strategy is transparency. Those who show everything are already defeated. Every general knows to hide troop movements, to disguise supply weaknesses, to feign strength where weakness lies. You must do the same. Do not reveal your frustrations. Do not reveal your disappointments. Do not reveal your true ambitions. Those emotions are ammunition for your rivals. Keep them locked away. Let your face reveal nothing. Let your demeanor betray nothing. Be indriadable, impenetrable, a fortress of composure. The battlefield is not only in meetings and offices. It is in every interaction, every glance, every rumor, Someone laughs a little too long, intelligence. Someone hesitates before answering, weakness. Someone avoids your gaze, fear. Every small sign is reconnaissance. You must watch constantly, not casually. You must collect information like a spy gathering enemy maps. Then, you use it not to confront immediately, but to strike when the moment is most devastating. The great mistake of the naive is to fight every battle. They react to every insult, every slight, every rumor. That is foolishness. A commander chooses his battles with precision. Attrition wastes resources. Endless retaliation exposes weakness. You must learn restraint. Not every attack requires response. Sometimes silence is more punishing than retaliation. Sometimes watching your rival overextend is more lethal than counterattack. War is not about noise. War is about timing. But when you strike, strike so decisively that no counterstrike can follow. If a rival spreads lies, gather evidence silently. Prepare the trap, and at the right moment, expose them before those who matter most. Do not confront them in the hallway. Destroy them in the council. A single precise strike does more than 1,000 petty skirmishes. When you act, let it be final. Let it be overwhelming. Let it demonstrate that to cross you is to invite ruin. That is how you cultivate quiet fear. That is how you shift the battlefield. You must also learn the art of sacrifice. Sometimes you must lose a minor battle to win the war. Sometimes you must allow an insult to pass, a credit to be stolen, an opportunity to be denied because the greater prize lies ahead. A commander does not defend every inch of ground. He defends the ground that controls the campaign. Likewise, you must choose what matters. Sacrifice small victories to protect your energy for decisive strikes. Let them think they won. Let them celebrate their small triumphs. All the while, you advance silently toward the larger conquest, and never underestimate the power of fear disguised as respect. You may want to be liked. Abandon that. Liking is cheap. Respect is stronger. Fear is strongest. You do not need to be adored. You need to be untouchable. When colleagues calculate whether to oppose you, they must conclude the risk is too great. That is not achieved by charm. That is achieved by demonstrating you see everything, you forget nothing, and you can strike when it matters. Your aura must whisper. Crossing you is dangerous. The cost of failing to learn these strategies is your life wasted in servitude. You will give your best years to labor, while others reap the rewards. You will watch fools rise above you while you remain chained. You will die, knowing you had the intelligence but not the discipline to seize command. That is the tragedy of the naive. They have the capacity but not the ruthlessness. You must decide if you will join them in decay or rise beyond them. Look around your workplace now. See it not as an office but as a campaign map. Who are the generals? Who are the lieutenants? Who are the pawns? Where are the supply lines of information? Where are the hidden alliances? Who controls perception? Who shapes narratives? Study this map until you see it more clearly than anyone else. Then, position yourself where the influence converges. Do not waste yourself on unimportant fronts. Move to the points where control is decided. That is how you outsmart them all. You cannot outwork everyone. You cannot outplease everyone. You cannot outweight everyone. But you can outthink everyone. You can outmaneuver everyone. You can outstrategize everyone. That is what it means to be Machiavellian. That is what it means to win. You must abandon the last comfort, still clinging to you the idea that you can both remain harmless and seize power. Harmlessness is a cage. The harmless are tolerated, used, discarded. Power never belongs to those who avoid danger. It belongs to those who learn to control it, to wield it with precision, to project it without apology. You tell yourself you do not want enemies. Fool, you already have them. Anyone who competes for the same position, the same recognition, the same resources, is your enemy. Whether you name them or not, they exist. Whether you like it or not, they are plotting. To ignore them is to let them flank you. To face them with strategy is the only path to survival. Your hesitation to embrace ruthlessness is nothing but weakness disguised as virtue. You fear what others will think if you maneuver too boldly, if you protect yourself too fiercely, if you cut too precisely. But do you not see? They are already maneuvering against you without hesitation. They do not fear appearing ruthless when your ruin is their victory. And you, by refusing to match their ferocity, deliver yourself to them as prey. I tell you, in this battlefield, the most ruthless does not always win, but the least ruthless always loses. The battlefield demands psychological dominance. You must learn not only to act strategically, but to make others feel your presence before you speak, to command silence when you enter, to bend the room without lifting a finger. This is not achieved through arrogance or noise. It is achieved through controlled power. Your eyes, your silence, your posture, your timing. These are weapons. Let them feel that you are watching, that you are calculating, that you are never unarmed. Fear begins not with threats, but with perception. You must also master the weapon of unpredictability. Predictability is weakness. When rivals know exactly what you will do, they prepare, they counter, they box you in. You must be disciplined, but never predictably. Sometimes you remain silent when they expect a defense. Sometimes you strike when they expect surrender. Sometimes you withdraw when they expect retaliation. Confusion is a weapon. It forces them to hesitate, to second guess, to weaken themselves in uncertainty. Hesitation is death in war. Make them hesitate. Learn to cloak your ambition. Let them underestimate you. Let them think you are content. Let them think you are harmless. The underestimated soldier moves freely. The underestimated commander strikes without resistance. Do not reveal the scale of your intentions until they are already achieved. By the time they realize you are advancing, it will be too late. The war will already be over. You fear betrayal. You fear being used. Good. Fear is correct. But do not avoid betrayal. Anticipate it. Use it. Wield it. Betrayal is not an accident. It is currency. Others will betray you when it serves them. Therefore, betray them before they betray you. Do it with precision. Do it when it matters most. Do it so cleanly that it appears inevitable. So ruthlessly that others hesitate to ever cross you again. This is not cruelty. This is strategy. Cruelty is chaos. Strategy is control. Do not delude yourself into thinking this war will end. It will not. When you rise to one position, the battlefield shifts to a higher level. When you defeat one rival, another emerges. Power is a permanent campaign. There is no peace, only temporary truces. Accept this truth, and you will never be surprised again. Reject it, and you will be crushed when the next campaign begins. You must build within yourself the mind of a commander. Cold, precise, relentless. See people not as friends, but as pieces on the map. Assets, obstacles, supply lines, threats. Treat them with courtesy. Yes, but never forget what they are. The smile of a colleague is the flag of an ally today, but tomorrow it may be the banner of your enemy. The applause of the crowd today may be the silence of indifference tomorrow. Do not tie yourself to faces, to words, to promises. Tie yourself only to strategy. Strategy does not betray. Strategy does not abandon. Strategy does not fail. Only commanders fail to wield it. You may wonder if such ruthlessness will destroy your soul. I tell you this, Your soul is already destroyed if you allow yourself to be crushed, humiliated, discarded. Better to harden yourself in discipline and rise than to remain soft and be annihilated. Compassion has its place, but compassion must never command. If you wish to be compassionate, do so from power, not from weakness. A weak man's kindness is dismissed. A strong man's kindness is remembered. Now, I leave you with no illusions. The workplace is war. The currency is perception. The weapon is strategy. The weak are consumed. The ruthless ascend. You stand before two paths. One leads to servitude, to wasted years, to quiet despair as you watch others rise above you with half your talent and none of your virtue. The other leads to command, to control, to survival, to victory. But the cost is your illusions, your softness, your cowardice. You cannot choose both. You cannot be harmless and powerful. You cannot be naive and victorious. You cannot serve morality and command survival. You must choose. So I demand this of you now. Decide. Will you remain a pawn, waiting for fairness that will never come, dying forgotten in the shadows of others? Or will you embrace ruthlessness, arm yourself with strategy, and seize control of your command? There is no middle ground. There is no compromise. Either you lead, or you are led. Either you conquer, or you are conquered. Either you command, or you are destroyed. The battlefield does not wait. Your rivals are advancing even now. Your hesitation is their victory. Your illusions are their weapons. Burn them. Shatter them. Replace them with steel. Replace them with strategy. Replace them with the ruthless clarity of Machiavelli. I have spoken. Now you act. Choose command or remain consumed. But know this. If you remain passive, if you remain weak, if you remain blind, your ruin will not be an accident. It will be your choice. And I do not pity the soldier who chooses surrender. I only recognize the commander who chooses power.